It's summertime, and that means celebration. Here in the United States, one of the biggest times to celebrate during the summer is the 4th of July. When you think of the 4th of July here in the United States, you think of many things. Grilling out, party, being outside with friends, but there's one thing that you really think of, that's fireworks. Fireworks photos can be incredibly fun to shoot, but they can be a little bit of a challenge as well. So over the next few minutes, I'm going to give you some tips and tricks so that whenever you end the night of shooting fireworks, you're going to walk away with some nice professional looking photographs. Now the great thing about fireworks photography is unlike sports or portraits or something like that, the actual body and lens that you're using shooting the fireworks isn't quite as important. So that means you can get some awesome looking photos with just the starter kit body and lens. Although the body and lens isn't quite as important, there is one thing that is incredibly essential. That's a tripod. For reasons I'll get to in just a few minutes, such as incredibly slow shutter speeds, you're going to need a nice sturdy tripod to hold your camera and your lens. Now it doesn't have to be something incredibly expensive like a $300 or $400 or $500 tripod like this one. You can just go to your local big box store and pick up one $50, $60. Like I said, price doesn't really matter as much. As long as it can hold your body and hold your lens nice and still, it'll be fine. Another piece of equipment that's also nice to have, although it's not a necessity like a tripod, is a wireless trigger. Now I've seen this wireless trigger being sold pretty much the exact same model by various brands. It can be super cheap, 20 or 30 bucks. Another route to take is pocket wizards. It's a much more expensive route to take than just an off-brand wireless trigger, but if you have some pocket wizards laying around and a wireless trigger cable, then this will work as well. Now the reason you're going to have a tripod and it'll be nice to have a wireless trigger is because you're going to be shooting at really low shutter speeds. All that means is that your camera is going to be opened up to light for a lot longer of time. It's not going to be 1/1000th of a second where it opens and closes really quickly. It's going to be open for a long amount of time to let a lot of light in. So if it moves just a little bit, the camera, then it'll show. Now let's get into the body and the lens. The body doesn't really matter. If it's a DSLR out there that you've recently purchased in the last 10 years on the market, I'm sure it'll do. Now the lens. I would stay away from anything that's super wide, anything like a 14mm or 12mm, or for sure a fisheye. I would stay away from those. I would say somewhere between about 24mm and 100mm. It can be much farther than 100 meters if you'd like, and all that depends on your location from the fireworks. If you're super far away, then you'll want probably 200 or 300 to be able to reach the fireworks. It just all depends on what you're going for and where your location is. You don't need a super expensive lens for fireworks at all. One of the reasons why lenses can get so expensive is so they can open up to be able to let a ton of light in at like f2.8 or lower. But for fireworks, even if you have a 2.8 lens, you won't be using it. When you shoot fireworks, you're going to want to be in manual mode. Now, hopefully you're in manual mode every time you pick up a camera, but if you're not, that's okay. This is a great opportunity to practice. You're going to want to have the lowest ISO as possible. I would suggest somewhere between 100 and 200, maybe 320, 400 if you have to, but you really won't need it. The next piece of the camera you're going to want to change is the f-stop. I would suggest somewhere between about f8 and f13, around f10-ish, somewhere in that vicinity. That's something you can change depending on the light. Now we've already discussed ISO and the f-stop, so the third and final piece of the triangle is the shutter speed. Now you have a couple options with shutter speed. One is bulb mode. Now bulb mode is great. Basically what you'll do is you wait for the firework to rise into the air, and right before it busts, you will push down the button on the wireless release or on the actual body itself. Hopefully you have a wireless release, but like I said, you don't have to have it. So you will push it down once it explodes, and it'll fall, and whenever it's done falling, you let it go. And what that does is it starts the picture, and then it ends the picture exactly the time frame that you need, depending on the firework. Now bulb mode's great, but it requires you to pay a lot of attention to the fireworks and that kind of thing. Sometimes when you're watching fireworks, you kind of want to enjoy them as well as taking the photos. So what I'll do is I'll set my shutter to somewhere between 2 and say 20 seconds. And then you'll just hit it, you'll hear it click, you can enjoy the fireworks. Whenever it clicks again to finish the photo, you push it again. And it'll just take photos the whole time. And you don't really have to pay attention on or off, on or off. Now, it doesn't matter if you have all the settings 100% perfect, if you have a nice tripod, it's not moving, none of that matters unless the fireworks are in focus. There are a couple ways to get fireworks in focus. One way is to wait for the first firework to go off, you frame it how you want it, you select the focus, if your back button, which is what I use, or just the regular shutter button, get it in focus, and then you'll turn it off. On some lenses, you'll turn off the focus on the actual lens itself, or on bodies, you can just go manual focus right there. Another way of focusing is just to simply dial up the infinity symbol on your lens and then dial it back just a little bit, and then that'll probably do the trick as well. Now that the boring camera settings are out of the way, we can talk a little bit more about the actual fun stuff of shooting fireworks. You have a couple options. You can either take pictures of just the fireworks to where all you see in the whole frame is the firework, and that can create a nice photo. What I like to do is if, say, the fireworks are in a city, you can frame it up to where you're taking basically a cityscape, and then the fireworks just happen to be in it. Those are awesome. Anytime you can have something in the photo that can relate the size of the firework, either in the foreground or in the background, can improve the photo. Something else to keep in mind when you're looking for your location for the photos is it's always awesome to have water in front of you so that there's a reflection of the fireworks in the pond or the lake or the ocean or the river or the canal, whatever. That really can improve the photograph as well. Sometimes these fireworks can put off a ton of smoke, so you don't want to be downwind. If, say, my trap out here is the firework and I'm shooting it from this angle and I'm downwind, so they'll go up, they'll explode, I'll take an awesome photo, but then the smoke will come right into my lens. That can ruin it. So do a little bit of research and try to have either the smoke go to the side or back. Definitely not at your camera. Say the fireworks last 30 minutes. You don't want to just shoot the first 15 minutes because most of the time at the end there's a giant finale, and that's a great time to get the best photos. When it comes time to edit the photos, a lot of the times you'll find that you'll get the firework in the exact same place in every single frame. So what you can do is you can take multiple frames, take the fireworks out, just pull them out of each frame, overlay them in different spots on another picture, then you'll get one beautiful picture with fireworks all over it. I hope you enjoyed these tips for shooting fireworks. If you have any questions at all, you can comment below or you can message me. As always, subscribe and thanks for watching.